Egypt has plunged into a fresh outbreak of street violence as protesters vent their fury against President Morsi. Clouds of tear gas fired by police engulfed demonstrators who had pelted the presidential palace with petrol bombs. Well, amid the deepening crisis, the authorities have now decided to ban the YouTube video service in the country. Well, RT's Belle True joins us live now from Cairo. Belle, what triggered the decision to ban YouTube and how has it gone down with the public?
What happened this morning, Saturday morning, is the administrative court here in Cairo banned YouTube for a month after a lawsuit was filed by an Egyptian attorney last year when this anti-Islam film, The Innocence of Muslims, was sent to Arab channels and deemed very offensive to Islam and, of course, the Prophet Muhammad. This 14-minute clip sparked mass outrage across the Arab world, including here in Egypt. We saw mass protests in front of the US Embassy in September last year, on September the 11th, resulting in hundreds injured. Around 70 were killed around the Middle East as this violent protest sparked mass outrage. At the moment, there's been a lot of condemnation of the ban by protest movements who see YouTube as a vital resource for disseminating information about human rights abuses by the security forces. It's also an indication of an Islamization of Egypt. There's been a number of quite controversial statements made by these hardline Muslim clerics in the last few weeks, including a religious edict calling for opposition forces to be killed, and a Muslim cleric speaking to an Egyptian channel justifying sex mob attacks on Egyptian protesters in Tahrir Square. What we really fear here in Egypt is this will only fuel further violence on the streets.
And Belle, with the country already gripped by the crisis, this latest clampdown on freedoms is unlikely to ease tensions, is it?
Absolutely. We've had a very restive country here in Egypt in the last 2 weeks, especially since the second anniversary of the January 25 revolution, when thousands gathered in the streets of Egypt complaining that the President Mohamed Morsi had not made key changes and demands of the revolution. Yesterday we saw, Friday we saw more protests as part of Friday's Day of Dignity. Thousands of protesters gathered across the main rallying points in the country, which devolved into clashes between anti-government protesters and security forces. In the capital here by the presidential palace, when groups attacked the building with Molotovs, they were pushed back by tear gas and water cannons. We saw bloodier violence in the governorates with unconfirmed deaths in Kafr al-Sheikh, as well as violent clashes in Alexandria, Tanta and Mahalla. We have more protests on the horizon with further expected violence. We don't see this finishing anytime soon.
OK, Belle True, keep an eye on all that for us, of course. For now, thank you.